And now, a program segment from the NPT production of Memories of Nashville.
I was able to witness that too. I'm a member of First Baptist Church, Capitol Hill, and our church was right smack downtown. And so during the sit-ins and the civil rights movement, my church was the headquarters, so to speak. I can remember going in the basement of my church and hearing the students, college students, learn the freedom songs, and I learned them too by listening, and go through the sensitizing or desensitizing, however you want to look at it, learning how to take abuse and pain without fighting back. And I actually saw it and witnessed it, and I would witness the marches start from my church and also witness them returning, sometimes beaten and battered.
By the 1963-64, you'd have the marches. People would march downtown. And of course, the famous lunch counter desegregation comes in Nashville in the 60s. Of course, by the mid and late 60s, everyone is involved, everyone in Black Nashville is involved in bringing about a change. It's important because these people are consumers, they're spending money.
In the early morning hours of April 19, 1960, a bomb exploded at the home of noted civil rights lawyer Z. Alexander Luby.
Diane Nash has told this story beautifully and more eloquently than I can. But she was dressing to go to this early morning meeting before class, and the bomb went off before dawn. And they met and started a silent march. Silent march started at Tennessee State and came to the courthouse. And the black ministers sent word to Mayor West that they would like for him to come out to talk to them. Frankly, I never thought he'd do it. And by the time they got on the square, there was a mass of black humanity. And they filled that plaza in the front of the courthouse. And the mayor's office was right there. And he came out. And the audience, the crowd around, they were emotionally locked into every word from Vivian's lips. Finally, Diane Nash said, "Well, Mr. Mayor, could I ask you a question? Do you think it's morally right for the department stores to sell us clothing, sell us shoes, to sell us furnishings, but they won't sell us a hamburger? Is that morally right?" And the television cameras on the scene catch Ben's face, and he is thoughtful. And he answers her truthfully, "No, it's not morally right. I don't own those stores, I don't manage those stores, I don't run those stores. I can't make them do anything. But no, I think it is not morally right." And the walls came tumbling down.
That admission from the mayor and that level, again, I think sets Nashville apart.
The resistance was there all the way. And Nashville, I think, handled it better than most places, but I couldn't say they handled it well.
Looking at African American Nashville, I think there was a desire to see things change. But even in this change, it was order.
I think the Nashville model is the one that was successful beyond any other. And it was successful, I think, because the planning included an absolute commitment to nonviolence.
On the third Saturday, they are ready to target a total of 6 stores.
Let each person now get himself or herself a partner that they will stick with. Now, we don't want a white person with a Negro of the opposite sex, because we don't want to fight that battle.
We were told in advance that day that they were going to allow the hoodlums to beat us up, and then the policemen were going to arrest us. So we need to be prepared to get beaten and arrested. So that was a condition under which we went down.
By now, they're well prepared for contingencies. Each group includes a leader and observers who will phone reports back to the church. Observers are carrying telephone numbers for ambulance services and a pocket full of telephone change. As they enter the stores, the second and third waves of demonstrators stay out of sight, ready to move in when the first group is arrested. As predicted, the police hang back for the first 15 minutes.
Went and asked each and every one of them separately to leave. They didn't leave, so I instructed the men to place them under arrest. We placed them under arrest. When we cleared the stools, some more colored boys and girls and white boys and girls got on the seats.
It really surprised the police. They thought they had lowered the boom. And when they turned around and looked and saw a lunch counter, once again, full of Negro students, you could just see that they kind of looked at each other out of the corners of their eyes as though, do you see this? What will we do now? And there was still another group ready to take their places.
You're in jail. I'm joking. Man, what my mother's gonna say when she hear about that?
We had a philosophy, which was a power of nonviolence. And that kind of power we felt was more forceful than all of their police force, all of their lawmakers, and all of their dogs or billy clubs or jails, and that our capacity and willingness to suffer outweighed any power they had.
Mass arrests are a victory for the students.